Okay, so coming off of Chris's video talking about how we have a significant offer out to Teddy Bridgewater, and I don't know, maybe he's just holding out, hoping that somebody wants to bring him in as a starter. I don't know. We'll talk about that, but that's not what this video is about. I'm telling you, you're going to love who the Detroit Lions just hosted on a top 30 visit. I think he is one of the favorites at quarterback for anybody. And the reason that I started this video talking about Teddy Bridgewater is because the Lions are definitely not done at quarterback. I don't think they're done. So when we look at this, we have to understand, like, if they're not done, who are they going to bring in? And I'll do another video because there's a guy that I love that is a sneaky, very late round pick that I think you could take in the fourth, maybe fifth round, that I just think would be a phenomenal developmental quarterback. But for right now, let's talk about the man that everybody loves, and that is Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker. All right. So they hosted him on a top 30 visits. And we all know Brad Holmes loves his guys with torn ACLs. So he's not going to even come close to worrying about Hendon Hooker. So they bring him in. And here's some of the things that we know about Hooker. We know that he is an interesting, how do I want to put it? Quarterback prospect, because he plays in this really weird, gimmicky Tennessee offense. And players that we've seen come out of this offense haven't necessarily succeeded at the NFL level, but that doesn't mean that he can't. But what we also know is that Hooker wasn't great before this offense. So he has 6,000 passing yards, almost 60 touchdowns, just 5 picks, absolutely nuts, to go along with another 1,000 rushing yards and 10 scores. He probably could have been the Heisman this year before tearing his ACL. So he's polarizing. There's no doubt about that. Like, he is absolutely polarizing. But is he the best? All right. It goes on to say, has prototypical NFL quarterback size and arm strength to go along with plenty of athleticism to make him a dual threat quarterback. He also did display solid poise, leadership, and some occasional high level processing as well. Look, here's what we know. That was designed, that offense in Tennessee, to be simple. It was designed to be, I'm going to read and I'm going to take my first, second read, get the ball out of my hands quickly. But they did a lot of stacks. They did a lot of things where you were reading 3 receivers and the defense, hopefully to one side of the field, and it would make life a little bit easier. It was supposed to be simpler. And the whole reason you get people open is because you're stacking wide receivers and because you're running each play so quickly that the defense, hopefully you want them to get stuck in certain bases. Look, Jared Goff played in a spread offense in college, and it took him a while to get going, but we have Goff. So it's okay to have Hooker take a while to get going. Here's the problem. And I'm just going to show you this next one. Here's my hesitations with Hooker. And I'm just, as we go to the big board here, you can see Hooker is I think, number 5 overall quarterback on the PFF board. Here's my struggle with Hooker. He's old. He's 25 years old. He's hurt right now with the torn ACL. He's going to be, oh my goodness, 26, halfway through his rookie year. I mean, he's only 3 years younger than Jared Goff. And so it's like, yeah, you're going to have to take time to develop him. Well, by the time you develop him, he's in his late 20s. I struggle with that. I think when you have the trifecta here with Hooker, here's what you have to understand with him. It's really 3 things. He's got a torn ACL. He played in an offense that is extremely difficult to judge on. And number 3, you can't see him. Well, number 3 is he's old. Number 4 is because of the torn ACL. This is a freebie, is you can't see him throw right now. So you got to see, and man, does he have a beautiful deep ball. Oh my goodness, does he have a good deep ball? Can you imagine that beautiful deep ball with Jamison Williams? Like, that's scary to think about. So there is that side of it. But the question is, can you develop this guy into a good backup quarterback? I think the answer to that is yes, but it depends on where you have to draft him. And I'll be doing other videos on this, but if Hooker, they're putting him at 82, but most people are talking like he's a late first, maybe early second round guy. I think that's too rich for him with all these question marks. If you can get Tanner McKee in the second or third round, a guy who's almost 3 years younger, all right, well, 2.5. He's 2.5 years younger. Maybe that's a better value pickup, a guy who's played in a pro-style offense. Probably a more difficult offense to be a successful quarterback than the Lions over at Stanford. So you have to think about that. You really, really do. And then I'm going to make another video on this guy in the future. DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson. Come on, give me some of that. I would so much rather take Dorian Thompson Robinson. He's 2 years younger. All right. He's got the speed. He's a good athlete. He's pretty twitchy, not extremely twitched up, but he's absolutely got the speed at 4.56 to be successful in the NFL and to be a dual threat quarterback in the NFL. He doesn't have the injury history, and you can take a couple years to work him in with Goff as your starting quarterback. I could go all day on DTR, but I would rather draft DTR in the 4th round than I would Hendon Hooker with my 18th, or if by some miracle he's still there at 48, 40, I think 48 is 50, 45, 48, whatever that is with us. So look, I get that people are going to love that we brought Hendon Hooker in, and I like Hendon Hooker. I'm not saying I don't. And if the Detroit Lions decide to draft Hendon Hooker, I'm in on that, because I think the greatest attribute for a quarterback, very simply, is accuracy, especially if he's not mobile. Now, Hooker is mobile, so you don't have to worry about that, but accuracy is it. When you look at Jared Goff, the reason he has excelled is because he's accurate with the football. He's not very mobile. He's not any of those things. He's not going to beat you with his legs, all right? But he is accurate, and that was enough to throw for over 4,000 yards this year. Hendon Hooker is accurate, and that deep ball accuracy, the ability to stretch the field, oh my goodness, scary accurate with the deep ball. Love it. Couldn't wait to see him playing in a dome under perfect conditions. That would be a lot of fun to watch. So I guess I'm kind of split on this, because I like Hendon Hooker. I just don't like him in the 1st round. I don't have a problem with him with a late 2nd round pick. No problem at all. But man, do I have a problem with it in the 1st round. And do I think we can get better value a couple rounds later? I think we kind of can. All right. Hey, speaking of Hendon Hooker, speaking of rookies, NFL draft, we're doing it live. Make sure you join us. Join the draft party. I'm sure we'll have some good eats, but we're just going to be talking football. We're going to be talking football, so bring your best snack and get your best TV in the background and listen to the coverage with me and Chris. We'll be together. Can't wait to do it with all of you, and we'll see you on the next one, all right? Leave a comment below. Hit that subscribe button. See ya.